The TC Performance Center 6.5 Creedmoor. Let's check it out. Guys, when it comes to the shooting sports, there's nothing better than having a rifle that'll really reach out. And to be able to reach out, it's got to be very accurate. And then a lot of the features, getting comfortable behind the rifle, all those things come into play. Today we're going to take a look at the TC Arms, or Thompson Center, which is well known for their single shot pistols and black powder. This is a centerfire rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. This also comes in 308 and 243. But this rifle can really get out there.
There it is.
Yep.
Thompson Center's been around since 1967 and primarily known for their single shot pistols and their interchangeable barrel systems on those pistols. They are really cool looking firearms, and I have loved those. I've had a number of them over the years in all kind of various calibers. But Thompson Center's also created the rifle in that same kind of configuration and a lot of black powder. This is their long-range precision rifle. It is the LRR for long-range rifle. It's actually in conjunction with Smith & Wesson's Performance Center. Smith & Wesson now owns Thompson Center. And so they have put together this really incredible package. But first, let's make sure that the gun is unloaded. We're going to move our magazine, check the chamber, and it's clear. One of the things first I want to mention is this. There is, I mean, it is smooth as butter. And when you're loading your rounds, it makes it really nice. Sitting there at the bench, getting ready to fire for your next round, hardly any resistance. Push another cartridge in, and you're ready to fire. It does have a 10-round magazine that comes with it, and this is actually made by Accurate Mag. I think these run about $70 or so on the Accurate Mag website. But they're good, solid steel construction. They go in one at a time, and when you load them, you actually load them from the front and slide it in. But the magazine just closes in, locks in right here. You have a nice ample lever to be able to get to it and pull it down. The bolt handle has all of its edges rounded off. It's really smooth. It is fluted right here, so it shaves some weight, and there is a relief cut inside, so it just makes it really nice, and it is steel. And the safety lever right here on the side, of course, forward is fire, back to safe. It does feature one of the Hogue AR-15 grips, and you can replace this with a lot of different aftermarket grips if you like that. To me, the one thing about Hogue grips, they are so comfortable. But of course, they do have, some of the larger grips that are more for target. So this can be fully, changed out, and it's adaptable again to any AR-15 grip. The barrel has a fairly heavy profile. It's 24 inches, 1 1/8 twist, but it is fluted. Fluting gives it more rigidity, especially if you're getting out to distance, but it also lessens the weight. Less flexing going on, so it's a nice free float, way above the chassis system. Thompson Center says 1 MOA. It'll definitely do that, if not better. Now, it does feature the 5R rifling. 5R rifling is a little different than your lands and grooves. It doesn't come in contact as much and deform your bullet as it goes through the barrel, and just allow it for better accuracy. 5R rifling is known for really good accuracy. It's got a nice 2-port muzzle brake, definitely assist in keeping this thing really flat shooting. And when you're sitting at the bench getting really good long-range accuracy, this really comes in handy. It does have M-LOK rails at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. Got a lot of room for accessories, but it also lightens up the chassis somewhat, which is an aluminum chassis. Now this can come in the FDE, or they also offer it obviously in the black. Here, laser etched is Performance Center, LRR for long range rifle, your Thompson Center or TC Arms logo right here. Very tastefully done. You don't hardly see it along the side, but you do know what this rifle is. And then we have the back part of the chassis. There are relief cuts all the way through here, so again it lightens out the weight, but yet it's solid. And then of course you have an adjustable comb here for your cheek, and each adjustment you can feel the click. And so that way you can adjust this to whatever height you want it, or you can drop it down just to match yourself to the scope. And then again, the butt pad as well is also adjustable, and we can move it. There is a rubber butt pad at the back, and this can be changed out for other butt pads. But it's really solid construction, the rails here, to keep this really solid, and it does. And the guys at TC Arms sent along this Trijicon 4.5 by 30, and it's 56 millimeter diameter objective. This scope is just phenomenal, and the adjustments you can make on it, and of course it is illuminated. It is one of the Accu power, and of course you have adjustments, but this scope can really get things dialed in. In fact, it was amazing how clear this glass is. It does have a bail on the front, a shade at the front to kind of, and extends out, but that does help, especially when the sun's coming in towards you. Of course, your objective eye relief, but it's sitting on a rail that actually is a 20 MOA riser. And a lot of times when you're getting out to distance, you run out of room on your scope. Now we didn't have that problem, but we did have it on the 20 MOA rail. So that gives you just a little bit of advantage getting out to really extreme distances. Here on the barrel, 6.5 Creedmoor. This does come in 243 Winchester, and it also comes in 308 Winchester. The calibers that you want to really be able to reach out, and yet excellent hunting calibers as well. If you want to release your bolt, you can bring it out, hit this, and it'll pull it right out. The back of the stock, this cheek piece does interfere, and so probably lowering it all the way or actually removing it would allow that to come back. Guys, I'm telling you, that is one smooth bolt. Right here is an indicator when you fire, and it just disappears. So you know that the gun is cocked. We're going to take a look at the trigger. The gun has been safety checked. You'll notice that the blade here, which is similar to a lot of striker fire pistols, gives you a little added safety. That way, if the trigger is pulled anywhere other than the lever, it's not going to fire. And so we're going to look at the trigger action. Now I've got it just in a static position. Wow. I mean, it is right there. According to TC Arms, the trigger is 2.5 to 3.5 pounds. It can be adjusted. You need to pull the action out to adjust it. Now we're not going to get into a lot of details, but we have a 308 right here. This is the 178 grain boat tail hollow point Federal match. Then we have the Hornady 147 grain. This is their match. It's the ELD round. I didn't have Hornady in 308, but I'm not really going to get into too much of the comparison because this rifle is also chambered in 308 and again 243. But one of the big things about the 6.5 Creedmoor is that the ballistics are very close to the 308 out to about 500 yards. But then once you get past 500 yards out to 6 and then out to 1,000 yards, the 6.5 Creedmoor really outshines the 308. It's 30% flatter shooting, and there is a 40% less wind drift out to distance. And this is moving at really high velocities. The bullet's more narrow, and so there's less affecting it. But now one big thing about the Creedmoor is it has less recoil, it has less wear on the brass, but there's less barrel life because it's moving out so fast. On the 308, there's more options as far as different type ammos, and then you can get down to, you know, surplus ammo for that matter that's fairly inexpensive. But that's if you're really shooting it just to shoot a 308 like in a semi-automatic rifle that you're really just having fun with. Actually, in the match ammo, the prices are pretty much the same for both. They run anywhere from about 95 cents a round all the way up to about $1.40 and can be more. So the one thing about the 6.5 Creedmoor is it's really proving itself as far as a ballistic round and accuracy and as a sniper round. Now, of course, the first thing I wanted to do was get it sighted in at around 100 yards. We took it, I mean, it just put one solid hole in the paper. These are, again, sub MOA, or at least 1 MOA, but guys, I think you can do much better than that. So that made it really nice to be able to get it out to 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way out to 1,000 yards. And I'll tell you, getting behind the rifle, the 6.5 Creedmoor is fairly soft compared to your 308, in my opinion. Getting it on your shoulder, feeling really comfortable with the stock, and being able to make those shots. One of the things though that I love is how long it takes for you to hear once the round is hit at 1,000 yards.
That's a hit.
Oh yeah.
That's a hit. There it is.
Yep. Wow.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Takes a while to get there, don't it?
Yeah.
Now my good friend Robbie Wheaton from Wheaton Arms joined me and really kind of helped set this up to get it out there. He does a lot of long-range precision competitions. He builds custom long-range rifles, and so he really knows what he's doing. So it helped me to really be able to get on target a lot faster, but even closer in. The one thing about 6.5 Creedmoor is it's just a really hard-hitting round, and yet the recoil is just nice. I mean, it just, I don't know, there's something about the 6.5 Creedmoor that I really love for that larger centerfire caliber. Guys, if you sit down at the bench and you really want to achieve that exceptional accuracy, the stock plays a large part in it. Mainly because it's so adjustable. I mean, whether it's the comb, whether it's the length of pull, being able to adjust that length, gets it in the right spot, allows for really good eye relief on your scope, especially when you crank that scope up to the 30 power. The eye relief really kind of shrinks. The eye box gets smaller, so you got to get right in there with it. And that's one of the things about this scope, is it naturally puts you where you want to be. That trigger pull is just fantastic. 2.5, adjustable up to 3 pounds. You can set it wherever you want to. Just makes it really nice. And again, this rifle is a collaboration between Thompson Center and the Smith & Wesson Performance Center. Smith & Wesson Performance Center is world renowned for just exceptional firearms, taking it to the next level. It's definitely what they've done here, in my opinion. It's definitely a heavy rifle, but that's part of sitting this down at the bench and being able to get that really good accuracy consistently out to distance. And that's just what I like. I mean, there are some lighter rifles that'll definitely do it. The retail price on the TC LRR, or long range rifle, is $1,211, which, guys, I'll tell you, that's a really fair price considering the chassis, the exceptional barrel, and a lot of the features that you're getting on this rifle with the rail, your box magazine. These typically run, I believe, about around the $70 range from what I could find on the website. And then of course with the adjustments here, this is just great. Now of course the scope is not included. It was very nice for them to add this scope to the rifle for me to test this out. One thing too that comes with the rifle is the Caldwell bipod. It is adjustable. I believe that's a 6x9. Gives you some advantage there. Makes this really stable. You know, I really tried to find something that I didn't like about the rifle. It is heavy. And that's just part of having this stock and the barrel. Again, 24-inch barrel, you're gonna have some weight to it. But with the fluting, with the holes drilled and the relief cuts in the aluminum, it does make it somewhat lighter, but it's still heavy. But when you put it on the bench, you're glad to have that weight because it keeps it really rock solid. And I want to thank the guys over at TC Arms and Smith & Wesson for sending this rifle for the test and evaluation. Also the use of this Trijicon incredible Accu power scope. This is a beautiful setup, and guys, I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to send this one back. So I'm undecided. But as they say, too many guns, not enough funds. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Guys, Thompson Center's been around since 1965. Guys, Thompson Center's been around since 1964. No, it's 1967, you doofus. To release the bolt, there is a lever right here, and you can just bring it right out. Get out of here, you goob. I ought to fire off a couple of rounds. And it is their long-range rifle, or LLR. It's not an LLR. LLR. It's RLL. LRR. LLR. LRR.